At Lifehack Coaching, we help women over 35 to balance hormones naturally, boost metabolism, and lose weight sustainably. Hey everyone, today I've got Alicia with me, and her story is one of the stories that most women can relate to. When she first started with me, she came because she was struggling with weight gain and consistent joint pain. That was the biggest issue, the joint pain. She felt stuck, tired, frustrated, and over a few months, Alicia has made quite big changes to her diet and her lifestyle, and she learned how food can actually impact her body, especially gluten and processed foods. So she started feeling better in her joints once we removed those foods, and the weight started to shift as well and started to come off. We can see big difference on the photos as well. And more than that, she found the new level of energy and confidence. And so I'm very excited today for you to hear her story, her journey, because it's just a proof that, small changes are possible and they can make big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Well, Alicia, can you take us back to the beginning? What was life before you started this journey?
So it was, a lot like you said. I was 46 at the time when I started with you, and I felt like I was 80. My joints were sore. I was tired. Brain fog was really bad. I mean, sometimes I would just be sitting there and be like, wait, what was I supposed to be doing? What? But the biggest thing for me was no matter how I ate or what I did, the weight just kept going up and up, and the joint pain. I mean, down to even like the joints on my fingers were painful. Yeah.
And normally joint pain comes from inflammation, or like it comes from all other things, but inflammation makes it worse. So when we're dealing with joint pain, we want to think about anti-inflammatory foods. And for you, inflammation was coming specifically from gluten and processed food, because when we started to do a little bit of elimination and cutting things out, bringing things back to experiment what it is, that's what we identified was making the biggest shift for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's
Yep.
interesting. I want to share a story. I think it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny. I've I've been taking estrogen for a while, and at some point, a couple of weeks ago, I decided to stop taking it because I've noticed that I'm actually gaining weight, and I was like, "This is not normal. I haven't really changed much what I eat or what I do. Yes, there was a lack of sleep and stress added, so I stopped. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop for a couple of weeks. Surely I won't notice anything different on my brain and brain fog because that's the reason I was taking it, like mainly."
Yeah.
And because I had
Yeah.
hysterectomy, so I have to start taking it earlier. And on Sunday, I've got text reminder that my daughter had a doctor appointment on Monday. At 6 a.m., I checked my calendar. I'm like looking what I'm going to do today. Yep, she got an appointment, 8 o'clock in the morning. Yep, we're ready to go. At 8:30, I'm getting a text saying you've missed the appointment.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
well, and guess what I did yesterday? I went and picked up my prescription for estradiol. I was like, nope, I can't function. No,
Nope.
that was a
Nope.
mistake. I'd
Nope.
rather
Yep.
gain a few kilos than lose my brain.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I need it.
Yep. Yep.
And food does make a big difference as well. But I noticed for me, it's a sleep and a stress because we were selling the house, buying a house. Now we're packing and shifting. And now my parents are selling the house. So I'm helping them. It's like
Yep.
all added together caused weight gain. And I blamed
Yep.
estrogen. So I don't know which one was, but clearly those three parts were playing role in it as well.
Right. Right.
So back to you. What would you say was your biggest challenge when it comes to weight and joints?
I think just getting around. I mean, the challenge was, I know I needed to exercise, but I didn't want to because it hurt.
Mm,
And I was tired. I didn't, at the end of the day, when, like walking the dogs, I don't want to do that. I'm tired, I'm achy. So I would just sit there and, talk
mm,
myself out of it. So it became a vicious circle, right? I mean, I need
mm,
to move to lose weight
yes.
and help my joints, but it hurts. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably the biggest challenge is I sit there gaining weight
Yeah.
and yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is such a vicious cycle. Like
It,
you need to exercise because it will
right.
help. You
Right.
need to eat clean because it will help,
Right.
but you
Right.
don't want to exercise because it
No. No.
hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and
Yep.
that's how I always start. Like, always say, let's start with nutrition. Let's just minimize symptoms as much as we can through food because
Right.
food makes such a big impact. And then we can introduce exercise and that will help. And I know
Right.
I personally have issues with my back and it's definitely got worse as my estrogen started to
Yeah.
go down. Like
Yep.
the pain is just consistent. But I know if I don't exercise, it's worse. I'm actually in way
Yep.
more pain when I don't
Yep.
exercise. So I
Yep.
have to kind of force myself to go and show up for myself and do some sort
Yep.
of whatever I can, do
Yeah.
something.
Move. Just do something. Yes.
Just do
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
definitely. You become stiff when you don't exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when do you think was the moment for you that made you think, like, I need to do something different now? Like, what I'm doing is not working and I need to get support and help?
Yeah, I could almost tell you the day I was out visiting my oldest child at college. He was 22. I was out there for his birthday, so he had just turned 22. And, we were out, we had some drinks, and I always call myself like a trash panda. I love bar food and, fried food. I'm all for it, mozzarella sticks and potato. Yes, all of it. And he's a college kid, so, that's his jam too. And I was flying home. I was only out there, I think it was like a long weekend, 3 days. And
Mm,
I was flying home. And, we all know how airplane seats are, they're not luxurious. And we pulled in to my home airport, and I was in so much pain. It was all I could do to get out of the plane. But then, when it's my turn to stand up, I'm so stiff and I'm so sore. You know,
mm,
I thought something was really, really wrong. I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. Something's happening. I was almost in tears driving home because I was in so much pain. Yeah, that was my rock bottom moment. I had to do something. I don't know what it was at the time, but I
mm,
had to change. I had to do something. Again, I was 46 at the time. I said, what am I going to be like when I'm 70, 80?
mm.
Yeah, that was my big, wait a second, this has got to change. Yeah.
How has it changed now?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm actually painting our house today, a room, and I'm up and down of the ladder. I'm sitting on the floor, doing the trim, I'm moving around, and I have no pain. I mean, yeah, other than a little sore, but that's, I was lugging the ladder around, but I can get up and down off the ladder. I can kneel down and not, I still have cracking in the knees, but that's, forever. But I'm not in pain. I can do it
Yeah.
without hurting. I think that's my biggest thing. I can take a walk with my dogs. I can, still be there for my other two kids that are at home at the
Yeah.
end of their day. I'm not miserable by 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. And that's really, really like, and it's empowering and motivating, right? Like, you know
Yes.
what works for you, and like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I gotta keep up with that because this is
For sure.
actually what's make me feel good. That's what working for me.
Right.
So, what do you think was one of the biggest breakthrough for you when you were learning about the gluten and processed food and how it affects your body? Like, what have you noticed?
Well, that it affects my body. I mean, when we first started, and you took me off all that, I remember, and I hung up with you and I looked at my husband and I said, what am I supposed to eat? No gluten. Because, I'm a carb person. I love bread. I love pasta. I love, again, I'm like, I can't eat chicken for the rest of my life. What am I going to do? And he kind of helped work through too. And, some of your suggestions. And I just started doing it. I said, okay, I got to just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Nothing's going to change. So I'm only out money pretty, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
So I just did it. And, I think it was maybe, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 weeks in with you. And yeah, the weight was coming off. I was feeling better, but I was like, okay, what if I just have I forget what I even tried to eat. I was like, what if I just eat this? I think we were out with friends. I'm just going to eat. I don't even know what it was. I think it was maybe a hamburger with a bun or something. I don't know. And I ate it and I was done. I felt it almost immediately. I could not sleep that night. And I woke up the next morning and I was hurting again. And I said, okay, maybe she knows what she's talking about. Okay.
Maybe.
Right. I think that was because when people tell you, oh, yeah, gluten affects your body, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sure it does a little bit, but it really does. And I'm amazed how much even just a little bite occasionally will affect me. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
okay, I have to either look for a different, like non-gluten thing, which, the world is full of it now,
Yeah.
or I just don't eat it anymore because it's just not worth. I don't want to be in pain. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. And like for people who don't have effect like you do to the gluten, there's no point like going gluten free because gluten free product highly processed and they have stuff added to it to test.
Right.
Okay. So unless you have to go gluten free, I wouldn't because
Right.
you have to pick your battles and you have to pick what actually would be the beneficial for your body. So for me, I can have gluten, I can have whole grains, like I can have
Hmm.
wholemeal bread and whatever. I can even eat white bread and I
Okay.
won't have impact like you do.
Yes.
But I have other foods, I can't eat prawns, I can't eat grapes, mangoes, nuts, red
Right.
meat, nothing like that. So there's a different things that I can eat
Yep.
compared to you. So
Yep.
if somebody's listening, go, oh, I'm just going to go off gluten.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to if you don't have to. Like
Right.
if gluten doesn't make you feel terrible, then if you stick to the bread that as clean as possible, doesn't have things like numbers on it, added stuff to it, or if you can
Right.
make bread yourself from organic flour and wholemeal or sourdough, even
Right.
better, then do it because you will be
Right.
fine. It will be better than going gluten free and buying all this processed, highly processed snacks and treats
Correct.
and yummy stuff.
Yep.
So you kind of have to pick your battles with that.
You do.
So, okay, we spoke a little bit about how nutrition and exercise impacted your lifestyle now. Like,
Hmm.
are you motivated exercise now? You know how at the start you were like, I don't want to exercise, I'm just too sore.
I'm still like that. I mean, exercise is not I'm not one of those people that wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I can't wait to exercise. Like, I complain all the way. And, I am very blessed. Like, I have a stationary bike in my basement, and my husband has a couple. He's got a rower, and they call him an assault bike. I don't like that thing, but
No, me either.
I am blessed to have those things in my basement, but I still hate it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I hate it,
Yep.
but I know I have to do it. I mean, it's not an option. I have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not signing up for marathons anytime soon, but I see the value of, weightlifting, moving my body, walking. And if nothing else, it's showing my kids, one who is very athletic and, will tell me, Mom, you can't eat that, or Mom, you need to do that. So when I have a 17-year-old telling me, let's go, Mom, I'm like, okay, let's go. But, I still hate it. I mean,
Yep.
but it is what it is. It's a part of my life. It has to be.
Honestly, I'm one of those people too. I don't wake up and I go, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the gym. It's going to
I
be
know,
so
I know.
awesome.
No, I'm not.
No.
Nope, nope,
No,
nope.
I literally I go to tick the box. Like I know it's like I take a medication for me. I know I have to do it. And if
Yes,
I don't do it, I'm gonna feel shit. I need to do it
yes.
for my ADHD. I need to do it for my health. I need to do it for my
Yep,
bones. I
yep,
need to do it for my joints. So I'm not in
yes,
pain. So this is
yep,
literally like this is my medication and it's
correct.
I have to get it done. So I do it
Yep,
every single day because I
yep,
know that will make me feel better. But
yep.
I don't get excited. I get excited
No,
about eating tub of ice cream. Yeah.
absolutely. Those mozzarella sticks. But yeah, no, nope.
But not going to the gym. But I will, right? Because
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like taking a
Exactly.
medication. That's how I look
Yep.
at it. Your food and your exercise and your sunlight and sleep and stress management are the best
Yep.
medication you can get out there that work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
So, for you, what was the most surprising thing that you've learned during this journey?
Well, how food really, really affects my body. I'm not a foodie by any stretch. I eat because it tastes good or I have to stay alive. But, even prior to you, and I tried to eat healthy, it didn't matter if I was eating healthy because I was still putting either processed food or, I don't know that we have these salad bags here where it's a kit, you just buy the bag and everything comes with it. Well, it's a salad. How
Yes.
bad could it be? Well, when
Yeah.
you start looking at those ingredients, well, it's not good. I mean, I would be
No.
ahead to buy a head of lettuce and other things and make my own
Yeah.
salad dressing.
Yeah.
That's healthy, but you're never taught that. I think that's the biggest thing when you really, really look at what I'm putting in my body. And like you said, well, it may be perfectly fine for someone else. It's toxic for my body.
Yeah.
So I can't eat it, even though it's healthy. I think that's my biggest thing is, holy cow, that's healthy, but not for me. I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And it's interesting you're saying like we haven't been taught about the processed foods and what's in those processed foods. And I think it's because it hasn't been around for that long. Like
right.
if we look 50 years ago, it probably wasn't here, right? So what we learning now and the impact it's been making on us, it's only coming out now. And I feel
Yes,
like people like me who coach nutrition and lifestyle change and the mindset and all of that stuff, it's our duty now to educate the new generation, like what actually in that food, because it
correct.
hasn't been long enough. And so, yeah, we're only learning about it now, the impact and what it has done to people. And yeah.
Right.
Okay, so for women who are listening, who where you were,
Right.
struggling with weight gain, the pain, the feeling stuck, all of that cool
Mhm.
stuff, what would you say to them?
Find another option. Again, prior to you, where I was, that much pain, what do? You call your doctor, right? And that's what I did. And as a woman who was in menopause, because I had a hysterectomy in October,
Mm-hmm.
they discount you here.
Yeah.
Just lose weight, just lose weight, just lose weight. Well, I'm trying, but I can't. And their answer is just more medicine. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be on medicine for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a pill that if I forget, I'm back to square one. Find another option. And I am strongly, what you put in your mouth is affecting your body
Yes.
in some way or somehow. Really look at what you're eating, read the ingredients. You're going to be shocked, and then call you and you can help them. But yeah, I mean, there's other options than the medical field. I guess I was going down the road looking at rheumatologists and all this other stuff, and I've canceled all those appointments. I don't need them.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. As long as I can, for now, I mean, manage what I eat,
Yeah.
move my body, I'm good. I'm good to go. And I don't need to be on a million medications just to wake up.
Yeah. Well, medicine has its own place, right? But I always
Correct.
say most medicine is a plaster, right? Like
Yeah.
even if we're looking at like I don't know, like even antibiotics, right? Like the people that get recurring infections, we just keep
Hmm.
giving them antibiotics. And yes, it's fixed the problem, but not the core
Correct.
problem. Like the core problem,
Correct.
why are you constantly getting sick? Like what are
Correct.
you lacking? Are you sleeping
Right.
enough? Are you eating enough vegetables and fruit, antioxidants,
Yep.
and are you nourishing your body? So
Right.
medicine does have its own place, but
Absolutely.
I think if you're constantly battling and medication is not solving the problem, then you need to
Right.
be digging deeper to see what the actual core issue, and rather than plastering the problem, let's
Yep.
try to dig deeper and nourish your body first to see, okay,
Yep.
well, if we nourish the body, maybe it will give you what you need and function a little bit
Yes.
better. If it does not, okay,
Yes.
cool. At least you gave it a go and at least you
Right.
got stronger foundations.
Right.
So that's how I see it.
Again, you're not out anything if you change your diet, right? You can always go back to eating what you were eating.
Exactly. You want to eat shit, eat shit.
Right, right. And I'll be honest, I've tried it a couple times during this and I pay for it. And I'm like, nope, not worth it. I'm out. No,
And
I'm
you
not
can
doing
see,
it.
right? Like as soon as you eat something that your body doesn't like, your weight just
Yep,
jumps up
yep,
and it's massive
yes,
jump.
yes. And I'm like, seriously? I mean, come on.
And it's
Yes,
not
but yeah,
fat.
I mean,
You
right,
can't gain that
right.
much fat overnight.
No,
It's just inflammation, just water
yep,
retention from
yep,
processed food,
yep,
salty food,
yep,
gluten that your body doesn't like.
yep, yep,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's so amazing. It's so good. I feel so, I guess, grateful when I get opportunity to work with people like you, that we find something that truly works and
yeah,
can make the changes that you just have to carry on living with. And the thing is, it's not a diet. Like once we're finished, but you can't go back because you will gain weight back up again. You
correct,
have to,
correct.
this has to be your lifestyle now because we've
Yep,
found the thing that triggers your body to go into like
yes.
growth mode and not happy mode. This is your lifestyle now.
Right. It has to be. I mean, yes, I can
Mm.
always go back to my trash panda days, but with that is I'm going to give up my mobility. And again,
Yes.
I'm not willing to do that. That is not an option. Yeah. So, again, you've lost nothing if you try to amend your diet, is how, I mean, the food's always going to be there,
Yeah.
but, your health, for me, my health will not. I mean,
Exactly. Exactly.
so, yeah.
I saw the quote the other day: what you do in your mid 30s to mid 40s will determine how you're going to live in your 70s and 80s. And I was just like,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
So
Yep.
correct.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Alicia, for sharing your experience. I'm sure it's going to be very motivating and empowering for a lot of women to hear. And thank you
Thank.
for your time today.
Yep. Thank you.
If you have any questions about this podcast or about hormones, weight loss, or just healthier lifestyle, please go to our website at lifehackcoaching.co.nz or feel free to email me directly, Anastasia at lifehackcoaching.co.nz.